Get ready for explosive action. UFC Seattle is here with Israel Adesanya facing Joe Pyfer in a massive main event. Plus, we're breaking down the betting odds for Julian Erosa versus Lerryan Douglas, diving deep into the UFC Fight Night predictions from a top MMA model, and looking ahead to the middleweight showdowns at UFC Baku featuring Michel Pereira and Brunno Ferreira. We're breaking down the betting odds for Julian Erosa versus Lerryan Douglas, diving deep into the UFC Fight Night predictions from a top MMA model, and looking ahead to the middleweight showdowns at UFC Baku featuring Michel Pereira and Brunno Ferreira. We're diving deep into the UFC Fight Night predictions from a top MMA model, and looking ahead to the middleweight showdowns at UFC Baku featuring Michel Pereira and Brunno Ferreira. And looking ahead to the middleweight showdowns at UFC Baku featuring Michel Pereira and Brunno Ferreira. You don't want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLUM 3-Pack Screen Protector Plus 3-Pack Camera Lens Protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Erosa versus Douglas, a violent prop bet locked in. UFC Seattle is just hours away, and the Climate Pledge Arena is set to explode with action, headlined by Israel Adesanya against Joe Pyfer. But before the main event, let's talk about a guaranteed barnburner on the main card, Julian Erosa versus Lerryan Douglas. This fight is built for fireworks, and we've found a prop bet that's practically screaming value. The odds makers are already telling us this fight won't go the distance, with the doesn't go the distance prop sitting at a hefty minus 550. That's too steep, but our focus is on a slightly more nuanced bet, not to start round 3. This bet aligns perfectly with the styles of both fighters. Lerryan Douglas, making his UFC debut, is on a 5-fight knockout streak, showcasing his dangerous power and aggressive approach. He's looking to make an immediate statement. On the other hand, Julian Erosa is known for his never-boring fights, always bringing the aggression and willingness to trade, especially in front of a home crowd. However, Erosa has also been finished multiple times, with 6 of his 8 UFC losses coming by knockout. The combination of Douglas's finishing power and Erosa's tendency to get caught makes a quick finish highly probable. This is a stylistic clash that screams early violence. 2 aggressive fighters, both hunting for finishes and neither backing down. It's incredibly difficult to envision this fight turning into a slow, tactical battle that reaches the 3rd round. The betting market already reflects this, but the not-to-start round 3 line offers a more palatable price point to capitalize on the expected chaos. Fans are buzzing about the potential for an immediate knockout or submission, with many agreeing that this fight is unlikely to see the judges. Don't blink, because this fight is built to end early. Next up, we're diving into the fight predictions that could make you big money, featuring the main event. UFC Fight Night, expert picks and betting model revealed. UFC heads to Seattle this weekend, and the main event is a crucial middleweight clash between Israel Adesanya and Joe Pyfer. Adesanya, looking to snap a 3-fight losing streak, faces the surging Pyfer, who's on a 3-fight win streak. The odds have Adesanya as a favorite, but our exclusive MMA betting model is here to give you the edge. This model, developed by Mike McClure, runs 10,000 fight simulations, accounting for fighter attributes, round-by-round dynamics, and finishing tendencies. It's proven its worth, backtesting against over 500 fights from 2023-25 with an impressive 6.1% ROI. It even nailed recent big wins and round totals. For Adesanya versus Pyfer, the model highlights specific betting opportunities that go beyond simple win-loss predictions. It's also targeting plus-money bets, including one that could return over plus 600. One of the model's top picks involves the featherweight bout between Julian Erosa and Lerryan Douglas. The model projects a 46.6% probability that this fight goes over 1.5 rounds, with an average fight length of 2.5 rounds. It notes that both fighters have shown durability and cardio, suggesting a longer fight than the current odds imply, offering a juicy plus 145 return for the over 1.5 rounds bet. The model's insights are generating significant buzz, with analysts pointing to its data-driven approach as a key differentiator for smart UFC betting. Will this model's predictions hit the mark, or will there be an upset? Stick around as we explore if Israel Adesanya's career is on the line in Seattle. UFC Baku, Brazil vs. Russia middleweight showdowns announced. The UFC is heading to Baku, Azerbaijan on June 27th for UFC Baku, and they've just booked two massive middleweight clashes that could shake up the division's rankings. Get ready for a fierce Brazil versus Russia rivalry as two hulking Brazilians are set to face off against formidable Russian opponents. The main event will feature the highly anticipated middleweight bout between Michel Pereira and Sharabutdin, Magomedov. Pereira, known for his flashy and unpredictable fighting style, is looking to rebound after a recent split decision win over Zachary Reese, snapping a three-fight skid. His opponent, Magomedov, is a dangerous striker with an impressive 16-1 record, who recently bounced back from his first career loss with a decision victory. This matchup promises high stakes and explosive action. Adding to the excitement, the co-main event will see another Brazil versus Russia showdown with Brunno, the Hulk, Ferreira taking on Ikram Aliskerov. Ferreira, who suffered a loss to Gregory Rodriguez in March, will be looking to reassert himself in the division. Aliskerov, on a two-fight win streak with victories over Andre Muniz and Jun Yong Park, is a serious contender. Both fighters bring significant power and a desire to climb the middleweight ladder, making this bout a must-watch. Fans are already dissecting the potential outcomes, with many anticipating brutal knockouts given the power and aggression of these fighters. Will these middleweights make a statement in Azerbaijan? Now, let's get back to UFC Seattle and hear what a legend thinks about Israel Adesanya's future. Michael Bisping, is Israel Adesanya's career over after Joe Pyfer fight? Israel Adesanya, once the dominant middleweight champion and a pound-for-pound contender, finds himself at a critical juncture. Coming off 3 consecutive losses, 2 of which ended by finish, his upcoming bout against the dangerous Joe Pyfer at UFC Seattle could be the ultimate test of his career longevity. UFC commentator and former middleweight champion Michael Bisping doesn't mince words, suggesting that a loss to Pyfer might signal the end of Adesanya's illustrious career. "If Izzy loses this one, I think that'll be the end of his career," Bisping stated on his podcast, "Believe you me." He elaborated that fighters often don't retire from the sport. Rather, the sport itself retires them when they've lost that decisive edge. Bisping pointed to Adesanya's recent performances against top-tier opponents like Dricus du Plessis, Sean Strickland, and Alex Pereira, noting that while those losses carry no shame, a defeat to a fighter like Pyfer, who is ranked lower, would be a significant indicator that his time at the top has passed. With Adesanya turning 37 soon and a long, grueling career spanning over 100 kickboxing and MMA fights, the cumulative mileage could finally be catching up. Commentators and fans are actively debating whether Adesanya is simply in a tough patch or if the last stylebender has genuinely lost a step, with many anticipating a definitive outcome in Seattle. Will Adesanya silence the doubters, or is retirement on the horizon? That's all the fight news you need for now, but stick around for our lightning round recap and your chance to win. And that's a wrap on today's fight news. We saw Julian Erosa versus Lerryan Douglas primed for early fireworks, a powerful betting model predicting UFC Fight Night outcomes, and 2 massive Brazil versus Russia middleweight bouts booked for UFC Baku. Plus, Michael Bisping weighed in on whether Israel Adesanya's career is nearing its end. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more breaking fight news, hit the notification bell so you never miss an update, drop a comment with your hottest fight predictions, and follow us on all social media platforms. See you next time.